Sarah, honey, your father's on the phone for you.
I'm putting my makeup on right now. Can you put the phone on speaker?
Okay.
I did as my daughter, Sarah, told me put the phone on speaker and press button.
Hey Sarah, were you able to sleep with six?
Yeah, I was.
That's good then. We're about to start a new life, so then you're just gonna have to, for a little while longer.
What in the world is my husband, Sarah, talking about? My husband's voice was very gentle, the sense that he trusts and loves. I had no idea that my husband has been building so many good relationships with his colleagues, Sarah. I looked at Sarah while I thought to myself. Then Sarah put her index finger to and instructed me to be silent. I did as I was told and kept my mouth shut, but my husband started saying something really unexpected. My name is Kate, and I'm a 40-year-old housewife. I met my husband Thomas at a blind. Thomas and I were the same age, and from that moment on, we began dating as a couple. We got along pretty well, and we ended up getting married. We had a child right after we got May. Our daughter Sarah is now 15 years. My husband and I were both pretty, so we often clashed with each other. We had a happy marriage and was six happy as a family in our own way. And now we have been married for 15. I thought that I would be a stay-at-home mom and watch our daughter grow up.
For your next wedding anniversary, guys going anywhere?
One day, Sarah began to ask me that.
I'm not really sure and nothing decided yet, but I would at least have a nice dinner with your father.
Wow, that'd be very nice. You and Dad is going to dine at a Fay restaurant with a pretty night view.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna be like that, like when he proposed to me. Love to go to a nice little restaurant.
Oh, how nice. I'll be home alone, so you two should.
Hey, thanks.
As I talked with my daughter about, I was anticipating what my husband for our anniversary. But no matter how close our anniversary was getting, my husband never mentioned anything about our wedding anniversary. Could it be that Thomas is planning to surprise me with something? It's our 15th anniversary this year, so maybe he has something really special planned for us. If so, I won't bring up the subject wedding anniversary to him. I waited for my husband's action as about my usual routine, but the day before our anniversary still hadn't said anything about our anniversary, and on the morning of our anniversary, he didn't talk about it either. As usual, he looked really sleepy, eating his breakfast.
Well, I'm off.
Oh, hey, what are you doing today?
I asked Thomas, unable to resist. It was because I was indeed anxious that nothing had been said so far by then. But my husband looked at me curiously.
What do you mean? What am I going to do today?
Oh, no. I was thinking something like a bit of a challenge.
I wanted my husband to notice, so I mentioned dinner. Then Thomas made a face as if he were displeased. Oh, thank goodness he remembered that it was our wedding anniversary. But then Thomas then said something that surprised me.
Well, it's Friday, so I'm going to drink with my colleagues. Oh, crap, I'm running late. Well, I'm going to go now.
Have a good day.
I was just stunned. My husband did not remember what day today. Even my daughter, who was eating breakfast, was shocked at what had happened.
Dad forgot about the wedding anniversary. He's terrible.
My daughter got really annoyed at the situation, so I was able to calm down a little.
Well, he must have been so busworked that he forgot.
It was indeed sad that Thomas forgot our 15th wedding anniversary, but he still works hard every day, and I am grateful for that. That day, I ended up going out with my daughter to celebrate with. Then the next day, My husband woke up in the afternoon after coming home from drinking late last night. I was indeed annoyed to see that my husband didn't even realize what he was getting himself into, but I decided to go along with it. Then my daughter, who was standing in front of my husband, who was lying on the sofa.
What's wrong, Sarah?
My husband looked curiously at his, who suddenly stood in front of him. Sarah looked angry and began to say,
You forgot that yesterday was our Hmong wedding anniversary, didn't you?
Wedding anniversary?
To what Sarah said, Thomas had finally remembered.
Was that yesterday?
His reaction seemed to make Sarah even angrier.
What the heck, Dad? It was a special day to celebrate your and Mom's wedding anniversary.
Oh, has it been 15 years already?
My husband's very cold attitude made angrier.
How could you be so calm about it? Normally, shouldn't you feel more, see, that
When I said that, my husband instantly made a disgusted face and became upset.
Huh? Why are you telling me this? I'm tired from working every day. How am I supposed to remember every anniversary and whatnot? If you wanted me to celebrate your birthday, why didn't you tell me earlier?
I was just fed up at this situation point. My daughter seemed to be even more like her father and argued back.
Normally, it's your job to remember everything and plan a surprise, right? You know nothing about how women think.
Oh my God, shut up! What is up with you two? That's enough. I'm just gonna go home now.
Saying that, my husband angrily packed his bags and went back to his parents.
What is up with Dad? Whenever something happens that I do with him about, he immediately goes Grandma's place.
My daughter seemed to be unable to get angry even after my husband left, despite complaining. I was indeed disappointed by his attitude this time. We did have fights in the past, but speaking, Thomas had never been so unreasonable and annoying like this. Since then, my husband's attitude had become much colder. He doesn't even join in conversation with his daughter, and he often comes home nowadays. He went back to his parents' house weekend, and it has become a habit stay over. My husband's attitude is continuing like this, and I am gradually growing tired of it. But about 3 months later, my daughter started getting along with her husband.
Sarah, do you want to go to Grandma with me again today?
Yes, I want to.
Okay then, let's get ready.
Sarah started going with my husband to his parents' house on weekends, pretending that she missed them more than she actually did. My mother-in-law, Lily, had always been jealous of me since I became Thomas' wife. So when I stopped showing up at Lily's house, she was thrilled. My daughter didn't really like Lily, and she was furious with me about what happened with the wedding anniversary. So I wondered what was going on. Normally, I would be happy to see my daughter getting along with her dad, but this time I felt like he had taken her away from me, and I felt somewhat lonely. My husband and I had almost stopped to each other at this point, so the level at home for me depended on my and which side she was on. When my husband is at work, my daughter interacts with me normally, but when he's home, she talks to him all the time. It's not that she treats me badly, mind, but I can't help but envy my. But then something surprising happened, and that happened one day on a holiday. My husband stayed at his parents' house as usual, while my daughter, unusually, stayed home with me. In the midst of all this, my daughter rang at the door. I looked at the screen and saw that from my husband.
your father's on the phone for you?
I did as my daughter, Sarah, told me, put the phone on speaker, and pressed button. When I pressed the call button, I heard my husband's voice over the phone. What on earth is my husband, the Sarah, talking about?
Because soon that woman is going to get caught for abuse.
Excuse me? Abuse? What the hell is Thomas talking about? It also sounded like Lily was talking on the phone to Sarah with a smug smile on her face.
Well, it seems like you're getting who you're better off with, Sarah. You better cut off all ties with that woman.
Then my husband continued to say this.
I'm gonna make up a story about an abusive landlord, and instead of compensating me for the damage he caused, he's going to take that house away from me, and then Ayan'll invite Wendy home, and us can finally live happily ever after. I'm really looking forward to that.
My daughter said that and hung up. I was absolutely mortified and froze spot.
Sarah, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you during this difficult time. What is this all about? Why are you all planning against me?
I was really scared when I saw what he had done to Sarah, but my daughter looked at me right eyes in a serious way.
Mom, please don't worry. I have been on your side since the beginning.
Sarah then told me about her recent experiences. She said that a few months ago, when she was hanging around in the city with her friends, she saw Thomas and Lily walking arm in arm through the city with a woman she had never seen before. She then thought something was fishy new, that if she asked Thomas, dyed it, he would never talk to her about the truth. So she pretended to be sweet to her good daughter and little by little played the role of a daughter who lost her father in order to get to know the family better. Thomas was wary at first, but his of daughter suddenly became very close to him, and he quickly forgave her. Then they started going to Lily's house together, and Sarah finally found out the truth. And the truth was that Thomas and Elle were planning to frame me as the bad guy out of the house and then get remarried with Thomas's mistress, and the three of them would live happily ever after. Lily had been living alone since her husband passed away, but she was lonely. So it seemed like she wanted to move in with her own son. My husband had been having an affair, and he and his mistress, together with Lily, had made a plan to kick me out of the house. They tried to get rid of my daughter at first too, but since Sarah has recently been faithful to my husband and Lily, they decided to take her in and raise her. But she was my daughter, and she had a lot of evidence to expose Thomas Lily's wrongdoings and show me the including photographs of Thomas after Thomas and his wife, who is also a teacher, have been working on creating an audio recording of them discussing their plans for the future. I immediately called the police and Thomas and Lily for trying to frame. I then hired a lawyer and prepared my husband. After I called the police on them, seemed to come back to the house my phone rang a lot, which is probably proof that Thomas was desperate to talk things out with me.
Hey, where the hell are you? Why is the police at my parents' house?
How could I possibly tell you where I am when you and your terrible mother had a terrible, horrible plan against me? I hate to break it to you, but Sarah, everything is not always as it seems.
Oh, that girl. She betrayed me.
Don't blame Sarah or hate her. You and your terrible mother will be accordingly. First, I reported you for trying to cheat on me, and now I'm going to demand a divorce from your stupid affair, and I will seek alimony and child support.
Oh no. You've got to be kidding me.
You're the one who did this to yours. No, I will never, ever forgive you. And this house that you wanted, it was inherited from my parents, and it's worth a lot of money. So I'm going to keep it.
What the hell? Why? If I can't have that house, then what's the point of me planning all this?
Well, it would never be yours in the place. If it were me, the only thing I'd do to die and have Sarah inherit it, but I don't want you to take it from, and I'll sell it. Anyway, I don't trust you anymore. I'll discuss this with my lawyer and claim what I said I would do.
Hey, what do you mean?
My husband was still saying something to me, but I ignored him and hung up. Then, through my lawyer, I demanded alimony and child support from him. Then both Thomas and his mistress me the alimony. As for the child support, Thomas agreed to pay it in installments. Since then, Thomas was in a huge debt that he couldn't afford the house, so he had to sell it to his mistress in the end. Moreover, the mistress was one of his colleagues at the company he worked. The mistress reported to the company and was treated badly just to get back at him. He became known as the sexual harasser who would also give power harassment. Then he was demoted and transferred to a local branch with very low pay. Lily also seems to be avoided by her neighbors because of this incident. And now she's considered a terrible woman who tolerates her husband's abuse and tried to get her grandchild to lie about the horrible plan of framing me as abusive when they were the ones being abusive. As for me, I purchased a new house and started living with my daughter. I can only thank my daughter for pro-me and being on my side this whole. I will continue to live happily with my daughter while supporting each other as a team.
Thomas and Lily are truly horrible, but Sarah was truly intelligent for...
I hope that Kate would live a happy life together with Sarah from now on.
Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.